already here at the Post Bowling Center earlier in the day. To find out more about that, we head you over to our expert. As we mentioned earlier, had a lot of money lost earlier today with the crew. He is with Tom Solimine. He, of course, is the hacker Pete Maneri.
After facing Caridio and his crew called me empty pockets, I'm here with Tom Solimine, who is the director of the Westchester County Youth Bowling Association. And Tom, some outstanding performances by the 5 youngsters who are going to be facing off in the final here of the Scratch division. Let's talk a little bit about what it took to get here.
Well, today's 5 finalists had to average 213 and 8 games to make this stepladder finals. An amazing feat by junior bowlers.
Let's talk about the numbers 1, 2, and 3 first. Who's our top seed?
Well, our top seed is Lou Palumbo from New Rochelle. He had an amazing day today. He rolled a 290 game in our match play setup, and it was unbelievable. He rolled a 735 Scratch series in that match play.
Of course, there was an awful lot of excitement a few alleys down for that one.
Oh, it was a tremendous yelling going on by all the juniors rooting him on.
Numbers 2 and 3.
Well, number 2 is Lisa Maurice, our only girl in the finalists in the Scratch division. She bowled another amazing set. She bowled a 246, a 245, and a 202 in the match play round. Unbelievable bowling by this young lady.
And she'll be facing, well, or I shouldn't say will be facing, but the number 3 below her?
Well, number 3 is a John Richardson, who again had a very great day, having only 1 game under 200. He bowled a 240, a 210, a 216, a 246, a 227, a 206, a 225, and a 187. Man has had a great season on our junior tour.
Okay, we're going to start it off with numbers 4 and 5. Who do we have in the first match?
Okay, Rich Jacobson, he's the only one who is not a champion at this time. He bowled an average of 215 today, had a great day. He'll be meeting Keith Swerdloff, who averaged a 213, I'm sorry, to make the finals. These fellas have bowled before, and they're going to hit it off today heavy.
All right, we're certainly anticipating some outstanding play here. Of course, we'll be back, you and I, for the championship right here in about an hour. So there's an awful lot of bowling to be done. We'll get out of the way and toss it back up to John Caridio. Of course, you heard some of those bowling scores. They are not Caridio's golf scores, although they're fairly close. So we're going to toss it back now to John Caridio.
Yes, indeed, Hacker. It is pretty close, especially after my last round at Saxon Woods. The bowling score is very indicative of my golf scores as of late.
By the way, you have been cited by the Golf Ball Association Manufacturers of America for conspicuous consumption.
Oh, I thought they were giving me an award for buying the most golf balls in the season.
Well, that's about it.
All right, we are back here at the AMF Post Bowling Center in White Plains. As I mentioned earlier, we have completed the handicap division, and that won by Cozy Johnson, in case you missed that. We're now moving to the Scratch division, and this, of course, the most exciting of the events. No handicaps involved in any of these matches. It'll be one-on-one, actually, and the 2 gentlemen you're looking at are 2 first players. Will be Keith Swerdloff, 18 years old, from Yonkers, attends Queens College, and he'll be taking on Rich Jacobson, who is 20 years old, from Elmsford, and he is at the University of Hartford. So this will be the first one. Here we are, sitting in. What is this, kind of like a broadcast booth at a bowling alley?
You never know who'll show up in these things.
All right, this is Rich Jacobson to open up today's match. He leaves 3 up. So that'll give him a 7 to open it up. No handicaps, as we mentioned.
Looks like 1, 2, and 4 remaining, John. Indeed it is.
55 players started out today in both handicap and Scratch division. And we are now down to the final 6, actually, as Cozy Johnson won the handicap division. 5 players left here in Scratch. And some hefty scores have been bowled already today. And there's a untimely miss by Rich Jacobson. He's only able to come up with 2, leaves him an open frame, and 9 in number 1. And now Keith Swerdloff from Yonkers.
Tom Solimine telling me they've had, of course, 7. This is the 7th tournament of the year. They've had as many as 76 individuals show up and compete for the handicap as well as Scratch categories, championships. We're in the Scratch. Swerdloff leaves himself a pretty tough split there. 4-6. Let's see how he goes after it.
One thing I noticed right off the bat between the Scratch and handicap is the velocity of the ball down the alleyway. They really seem to toss it down there. Well, he's going to be able to get 1, try to knock it off the side and bring it back, but it didn't come across enough. So both players with 9 and open frames. So that keeps it quite even here in the early going. This is the second time that Rich Jacobson has made it to the finals in the previous 7 tournaments. And as a matter of fact, all of these players, all 5 players, have been champions at one time or another during this year's tour. And Mr. Jacobson, or Mr. Swerdloff, with the strike in his second frame.
Keith hitting a little bit of his stride here. And again, John, I don't think it's easy for these fellas. They're not accustomed to bowling with the Klieg lights on and a little bit of additional pressure. With some of the folks in the festivities involved in telecasting here.
Jacobson.
Very pretty, very pretty. Good spin on the ball. Came in and found that 1-3 pocket.
So
Came
Jacobson,
in on the Jersey side, as they say.
right. Jacobson with his first strike. Jacobson finished 4th in the scratch division in the first tournament, which was at Elmsford. It's only his second time in the finals. He's the only one of the 5 here has not come up a winner so far this year on the tour. He picks up 2 there. He's going to go after it. So Jacobson with 2 straight strikes in second and third frames, and now Keith Swerdloff.
And John, with the increased strength and velocity of these players, seeing a lot more English on the ball. They're controlling the ball, bringing it left to right, right to left, and so forth. Sort of like Army golf, left, right, left, right.
Keith Swerdloff was the winner of the first tournament in Elmsford, finished in second place in the stop at Elmsford again, so he likes the bowl there.
Yes, sir.
Comes up with his second strike in a row, so it keeps it all tied up. And Swerdloff finished 5th last week in the tournament at the Starlight Bowling Center.
Mr. Vinny Palumbo, you see him right there, keeping score.
Now Swerdloff for his 4th frame, working on 2 strikes, looking for a triple. Left himself a split and a tough one.
4, 7, and 10. Something worthy of Don Carter. If he can get this one, I'll tell you.
Jacobson waiting in the wings. He has 2 strikes already. Swerdloff needs this spare badly. He's going to try to bounce it off, and he just missed it. So he picks up 1. And now Rich Jacobson.
Jacobson, 20-year-older out of Elmsford, University of Hartford student.
Jacobson, who finished 4th in that first tournament at Elmsford. Picks up his triple. 3 in a row for Rich Jacobson.
Looking very well indeed.
Jacobson also finished 3rd in the second tournament held at the Elmsford Open. And did not finish in last week's tournament. Well, Jacobson looking for his 4th strike in a row here in the 5th frame. Kind of put things away early here with a strike.
Posting some pretty impressive numbers. Left the 10.
Already a commanding lead for Jacobson. Totals through 3. Jacobson at 68, Swerdloff at 54. At open frame, both players with an open frame in the first, which kept it even. But then Swerdloff with his open frame in the 4th, and that could prove to be his undoing before it's all done. Jacobson for the spare. Got it.